Hello everyone, for my first project on this channel, I will attempt to make a 30-second to 1-minute short film. Sorry, I gotta deal with the heater coming on at night. So in making this really short film, I'm trying to keep it as basic as possible. First, I will be using only things that are available to me. Second, I will be using as little gear as possible. Third, of course, I need to keep it under a minute long. And fourth, no crew, just me. On the no crew thing, I feel since I do live with people, I can include them in front of the camera. So with making a short film that is only a minute long, it's really easy to overthink it. I fall into this trap every time I try it. But keep in mind, this is just for practice. So let's write a script for a 30-second to 1-minute short film. So every story needs an idea. But with this project, I started the wrong way. My thought was to get a character and a situation and start from there. As I mapped that out on my whiteboard, I started to see that this approach was too broad and it would take too long to explain the ideas. I needed to simplify. But then I remembered I had seen a YouTube video from D for Darius. He had done a video about how to make a microfilm. I'll include a link to his video in the description below. It turns out he had a formula to keep it simple. His formula was to establish a character, establish a problem, act on that problem, and see the result. He said you could see this in those really cheesy Mentos commercials, and that's why he called it the Mentos formula. I don't know, formula, Mentos, way. However Mentos does their commercials, this is how they do it. So this really helped me clear my head. I was ready to go back to the drawing board. I find that writing out my ideas helps sift through what will work and what won't. But even then, sometimes it takes a little while for my brain to work the way that I want it to. And when you're trying to think of stuff around the house, your brain kind of gets a little bored. After trying for a while, I finally came up with an idea that I was interested in. The idea was that a man was having trouble playing his guitar, so he stays up all night to practice. As a result, he can play Happy Birthday for his daughter's birthday the next day. There's a lot of days in that sentence. Day. And now it was time to turn that outline into a script. You know, a lot of funny things start to happen when you move into the script writing process. Things that you thought that would work in your story sometimes don't, and you have to think of ways to fix it. And usually you don't notice them until you look at it a second time. I didn't notice it and I thought I was ready. But after sitting on it for a bit, this happened. So I was thinking about this script today, and we basically have a guy practicing his guitar and then the next day singing Happy Birthday to his daughter. And with the outline formula that we were following, it's basically the end parts where he takes action and then there's a result. There's nothing that really happens to him. And so I thought, well, what if, we don't have a lot of time to establish a long narrative here, but what if something happened to his original present that he was going to give to his daughter, but it's not quite disclosed exactly what it is. So my idea was that he could be on the phone with his wife or someone explaining how something was stolen and he doesn't know what he's going to do about tomorrow. And then his action is to play the guitar all night long and practice. And then in the morning, you see that it's him learning the song for his daughter for her birthday. So I'm going to rewrite this and put that in there. It might go over the 1 minute mark, the 30-second to 1 minute mark, but I think it'll make for a better story. I had a figure painting professor that once told me, you haven't really painted your painting unless you've painted it at least twice. I've found that this concept is a constant throughout all creative processes, from writing your first draft to your final draft, from shooting your first day to coming back for reshoots. It's always there and it always needs to happen. So now we have a story of a father whose birthday gift for his daughter has been stolen out of his car. It's not perfect, but at some point I need to move forward. And with that in mind, I can't wait to move on to the next step, which is storyboarding. And if you would be so kind and subscribe to my channel, that would just make my day. Boom.